There was a version of me who woke up at noon, scrolled until his eyes burned, and called it rest. That man is dead now. I killed him one habit at a time, and I didn't even notice the funeral happening. Picture two men. One is you, 5 years from now, still waiting for motivation to show up before he starts anything. The other is you, 5 years from now, calm, sharp, respected, unrecognizable to the person you are today. Same face, completely different soul. Only one of them gets to exist. Here's the pain nobody tells you about. Every day you delay discipline, you're not staying the same. You're decaying, quietly, invisibly, until one morning you look in the mirror and a stranger looks back at you. But here's the possibility. Change doesn't require a new personality. It requires 10 repeated decisions, done daily, without applause, without an audience, without anyone clapping for you. What if the habit that fixes everything isn't the one you think it is? And what if you've already broken it today, without even realizing? By the end of this video, you will know exactly which 10 habits rebuilt my mind, my body, and my self-respect in an order that actually works. Stay until the end. Number 7 changes how you see failure forever. Marcus Aurelius once reminded himself, in the quiet of a war camp, that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. He wrote that note to himself, not to impress anyone. That's the difference between him and most men today. Most people fail at self-improvement, not because they lack information. They fail because they're addicted to starting over. Monday motivation. New Year resolutions. A burst of energy that dies by Thursday. Discipline was never about intensity. It was always about repetition without emotion. That's why these 10 habits matter. They're not tricks. They're not hacks you saw in a 30-second video. They are ancient behavioral patterns, practiced by Stoics who had every reason to break down and chose composure instead. Seneca lost his fortune. Epictetus lost his freedom. Marcus carried an empire on his shoulders. And still, they built minds that outlasted their suffering completely, minds that are still studied thousands of years later. These habits aren't about becoming someone new. They're about removing the version of you that was never really you to begin with, the one built out of laziness, fear, and borrowed opinions you never chose. If you're serious about becoming that man, drop a single word in the comments right now. Ready? That's it. Let's begin. Habit 1. Win the morning battle. Most men lose the day before it even starts, because they lose the first hour to a snooze button. The problem isn't sleep. It's surrender. Every extra snooze teaches your brain that comfort outranks commitment, and that lesson repeats all day long. The Stoics believed the morning was sacred, a rehearsal for how you'd handle everything after it. Marcus Aurelius forced himself out of bed by reminding himself he had work to do as a man, not as a creature seeking warmth. The action is simple. Set one alarm, place it across the room, and stand up the second it rings. No negotiation, no snoozing, no bargaining with yourself. Ask yourself, who wins that first battle, you or your blanket? Because the next habit decides whether that early hour ever actually meant something. Habit 2. Train the body daily. Most people treat exercise like a mood. If they feel good, they move. If they feel tired, they skip it entirely. That inconsistency quietly bleeds into every other area of their life. Stoics didn't see the body as separate from character. Epictetus taught that we train our will the same way athletes train muscle, through resistance, not comfort. A weak body often mirrors a weak resolve underneath it. The action is brutal in its simplicity. Move every single day, even if it's 15 minutes, even if it looks ugly. Discipline doesn't wait for perfect conditions to show up. Ask yourself, if your body is the only house you'll ever live in, why treat it like a rental? There's a second kind of training most men skip completely, and it matters even more. Habit 3. Sit in silence. Most men fill silence with noise. Podcasts, music, notifications, anything at all to avoid sitting alone with their own thoughts for even 5 uncomfortable minutes. Seneca warned that being able to endure boredom is being able to endure yourself. If you can't sit in silence, you don't actually know who you are yet. You just know your distractions and your habits of avoidance. The action is uncomfortable at first, and that discomfort is the entire point of doing it. Spend 10 minutes each morning in total silence, no phone, no sound, just thought. Let your mind wander, then gently pull it back. Ask yourself, what are you actually running from when you reach for your phone? The answer to that question leads directly into the next habit, and it's darker than most men expect it to be. Habit 4. Journal with honesty. Most men are terrified of their own thoughts, so they never actually examine them. They react to life instead of directing it, reacting to a text, a comment, a stranger's opinion. Marcus Aurelius journaled every single night, not for an audience, but to interrogate himself honestly. He asked what he did well, what he did poorly, and where his judgment failed him that day. The action is simple but revealing. Write 3 lines each night. What went well, what didn't, what you'll adjust tomorrow morning. Ask yourself, if you read your own journal in 10 years, would you respect the man writing it? That question gets even heavier once you understand the next habit, because it exposes a lie most men tell themselves daily. Habit 5. Choose voluntary discomfort. Most men chase comfort and quietly call it success. Soft beds, soft food, soft conversations, soft everything, until softness slowly becomes their entire personality without them noticing. The Stoics practiced voluntary discomfort on purpose, deliberately, without needing a reason beyond growth itself. Seneca would eat like a poor man for days, just to prove poverty wasn't something to fear anymore. Comfort makes you fragile without you ever noticing it happening. The action is small but genuinely powerful. Take a cold shower. Skip a meal occasionally. Choose the harder, honest option when an easier lie is sitting right there waiting for you. Ask yourself, when did you last choose difficulty on purpose, with nobody watching you do it? Because the next habit is where most men quietly lose the entire war without ever realizing it happened. Habit 6. Release other people's opinions. Most men let other people's opinions rent space in their head. Unpaid, uninvited, and permanent if they let it stay there year after year. Epictetus taught that some things are within our control and everything else simply isn't. Other people's judgment was never yours to carry in the first place, no matter how loud it gets. The action is a mental filter. Before reacting to criticism, ask if it's true and if it's useful. If it's neither, release it immediately, without guilt, without a reply, without even a second thought. Ask yourself, how much of your day is spent defending yourself to people who don't even matter to your future? That answer sets up the habit almost every man underestimates completely and pays for later in ways he never expects. Habit 7. Reframe failure as training. Most men treat failure like proof they're not good enough, so they quietly stop trying instead of adjusting course and pushing forward. The Stoics viewed obstacles as raw material, not as verdicts on their worth. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the impediment to action advances action, that what stands in the way becomes the way forward itself. The action is a reframe you say out loud. When something breaks, ask what this failure is teaching you, not what it's punishing you for, because it isn't punishment at all. Ask yourself, what if every failure you've had was actually training, not punishment for existing? This single shift changes how the next 3 habits function completely, because now failure stops being the enemy standing in your way. Habit 8. Listen more than you speak. Most men speak more than they listen, filling silence to feel important, needing the last word in every single conversation they enter. Seneca warned that nature gave us 1 mouth and 2 ears for a reason we constantly ignore. Wisdom enters through listening, rarely through talking over someone else's point. The action is disciplined restraint. In your next conversation, listen fully before responding. resist the urge to interrupt, and ask one genuine question back instead of rushing to reply. Ask yourself, when did you last learn something because you stayed quiet on purpose? The next habit builds directly on this restraint, and it's harder than staying quiet ever was for most men. Habit 9. Pause before you react. Most men react instantly to anger, insult, or provocation, then regret it minutes later, sometimes carrying that regret for years afterward without saying so. Marcus Aurelius practiced the pause before responding to anything that threatened his composure. Between the event and your reaction lives your entire character, fully exposed for anyone paying attention. The action is a simple delay. Count to 10 before responding to anything that engages you. Every single time, without exception, no matter how justified you feel. Ask yourself, how many relationships have you damaged in 10 seconds you can't get back? That damage connects directly to the final habit, the one holding everything else together quietly beneath the surface. Habit 10. Remember your time is limited. Most men chase the wrong outcomes because they never define what actually matters to them personally. So they win games nobody asked them to play. The Stoics practiced memento mori, remembering death, not to feel morbid, but to feel urgent about the time they had remaining on this earth. The action is a daily question. Ask yourself each morning, if today were your last, would this task deserve your time at all? Or is it just another distraction dressed up as productivity? Ask yourself, what are you postponing right now that death won't wait for? That question is the thread connecting every single habit you just heard, quietly holding the entire list together. If even one of these habits hits something in you, that's not an accident. That's your future self trying to get your attention right now, in this exact moment. Subscribe if you want more of this, not from me, but for the version of you that's still waiting to be built patiently. This channel exists for men who are done starting over, done making promises they quietly break by Thursday afternoon. None of these habits are complicated. Waking early, training your body, sitting in silence, journaling honestly. Choosing discomfort, releasing other people's opinions. Reframing failure, listening more. Pausing before reacting, and remembering time is limited. Simple, but never easy. And that's exactly the point of practicing them daily instead of perfectly. The urgency is real. Every day you postpone these, you're not staying neutral. You're actively becoming someone weaker, whether you notice it happening or not right now, today, this very hour. So ask yourself honestly, are you building the man you'll respect in 10 years? Or are you still auditioning excuses for the same tired version of yourself? The Stoics didn't wait for permission to change. Neither should you, starting today, not tomorrow, not Monday, not after one more scroll. This is the work nobody claps for. No audience, no trophy, no highlight reel, just you alone. Choosing discipline over comfort. Again and again. Quietly, when nobody else is watching you do it. Tell me in the comments which habit you're starting today. I'll be reading every single one myself. If this reached you at the right moment, subscribe and come back tomorrow. Because becoming this man isn't a single video, it's a decision repeated daily, without exception. Now go close this tab and go prove it.